So, I have an update on my problem. I think I'm going to call him the pest. I've got like the online stalker pest, and then that's a woman. So we've got the lady pest and the man pest, and the man pest is this homeless white guy. So I've been getting rides at work since this. It hit home. I've been getting rides from work to home. Since this happened. The first day after, I didn't tell anybody, and I got a ride, and then the next day I let some people know, so they were kind of looking out for me with rides. And I was offered a ride last night, um, by one of my bosses, and she didn't know about it, and I said, no, I need to get back on the horse. And she's like, well, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I had a problem the other night, and I need to get back riding the bus, or I'm gonna have problems with it. And she's like, oh, okay. And that was exactly my thinking, because I was starting to have like a mental issues. So I thought, I just need to get out there and do it. And that has been my experience. Like, after I got mugged at the bus stop, I needed to get back out there riding the bus, to remind myself it's not all like that. After I got hurt, same thing. So, otherwise, if I don't do it, I just start like getting anxiety and stuff. So I get out there, and it was very, very interesting, because Ron and I did not have an easy time of it. He had a lot of issues, and he took them out on me, basically. But I believe at the bottom of things that he did love me as much as he could. And he was at the bottom of it, he wanted to protect me also. So he just couldn't protect me from himself. So, he died 5 years ago. And the night he died, I had an experience where I had, finally drifted off a little, and I was dreaming, and he came to me, and he was trying to say goodbye and apologize, and he wanted to hug me. And I knew it was him. And he was, whole. And I said, "You're dead." And "You're dead. Get away from me. You're dead." And I woke up, and I never had anything like that again. A year or two later, I had a dream that I was watching him in heaven, and that he was drawing, and he was this really good artist, which is unusual because he was blind on earth. But I didn't like interact with him or anything. So last night, I was at the bus stop. It's pitch black. I'm looking around, just trying to, quote, watch my six and keep my head on the swivel and all that good stuff. And I could feel him next to me, very, very strongly, that Ron was there. That's the first time that's happened in 5 years. It was very remarkable to me. And the bus came, and I got on. I said hello to the driver. I smiled. I gave him his candy. I sat down. And the pest was on the bus with a male friend. And the male friend looked both stupid and brutal. And they were both white guys, 30, 40 years old. And the friend was watching me very, very intently. So obviously the pest had told him something about me. I just put my earbuds in. I'm listening to my music and just trying not to pay attention. I looked the other way. And the pest, he was doing something on his phone, and he was very focused on the phone until he got off. And then when he got off, he looked at me and he said, "You caught me in a good mood tonight," as he got off. But he was limping, very, strongly limping, which is good for me, because now I know if he ever does come after me, I can just kick him in his feet, and that would probably take him out of commission. And he didn't have his bicycle either, which I thought was interesting. It was just him and the friend, and they got off, at a place where a lot of homeless people get off. And so I just, continued on the way home. And my last driver, real nice guy, very friendly, we talk. And a little about like food and stuff. Drivers like to talk about food. oh, what are you cooking? That kind of thing. How did you prepare it? And so I was talking to him about the pupusa place over by Greens Point, and he said, "Oh, they have pupusas. I saw them. He said, "How much are they?" And I said, $2.50. He's like, "Oh, that's really good." So he's probably going to go there, and it'll be good for him because and he's asking what kind of pupusas they had. They had the kind with the cheese and the Loroco. That's okay. They had the pork, the shredded pork ones, which again, okay. But my favorite is the bean and cheese. So I told him, they had all that, and he's like, "Oh, that's really good." I said, the only issue I had, they didn't really have any diet drinks. He's like, "Well, I don't drink that stuff anyway," so. But I'm glad I sent him another customer. So we were talking, and I got off, and it's pitch black and very creepy at my bus stop. And I'm looking around, and it's midnight, and there were a surprising amount of cars in the neighborhood for a Monday night, which I found very interesting. But they just went by. They didn't bother me. I didn't feel like anybody was watching me or anything. And so I walked home. I was okay. I play my music. I have a YouTube music subscription, and so I was playing some of my music at like a low volume and just walking and just looking around, watching my six, and I got home. I'm fine. But I just started getting a migraine, so I did hand out 11 gospel things yesterday. So I don't think. Do I think I'm like some big threat to the dark forces? No. But they don't like me, and they don't like what I do. Um, and I don't think they like that I'm a rabid Jesus freak and that I love them so much. So if they can harass me, they're going to do it. So, and I still kind of have it. It's like right in the back of my head. But sometimes if even the Excedrin really didn't touch it this morning. But it's been my experience if I take a 12-hour Mucinex and a 12-hour Sudafed, that can help with the headache. So I did that about half an hour ago. We'll see if that helps. But and I have Bibles coming today. I will do an unboxing. Alrighty, you take care. I'm praying for you.